Las Vegas has changed massively in recent years, and some of these changes have permanently affected how people live their daily lives. So keep these things in mind if you're thinking about moving to Southern Nevada. One of the biggest entertainment options to come to Vegas in recent years has had a huge impact on how locals live and how people now view Sin City. Las Vegas was originally known as a small tourist town where many people loved to visit but wouldn't want to live here because they only saw it as a place to gamble, eat, drink, and watch shows. One industry that arrived in Las Vegas in 2017 has largely changed the perception of Las Vegas as a small tourist town to a more legitimate city. That was the arrival of a local professional sports team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Prior to this, Las Vegas having any pro sports team seemed like a pipe dream because of its origins rooted in gambling. However, this opened the door for other professional teams like the Las Vegas Aces and the Raiders. In addition to professional sports, Las Vegas has seen growth in other industries that people may not expect. These include areas like the tech industry across the valley, movie studios in Summerlin, and warehouses and distribution centers in North Las Vegas. Although living in Las Vegas still has some of that small town feel, it's showing noticeable growth in industries that are common to see in other major US cities. For those of you that have lived in Vegas since before 2020, then you have definitely noticed this change. Being a 24-hour city is something that Vegas was always known for when it came to attracting tourists, but the local life was also 24 hours. You could go grocery shopping at 1 a.m. or get a haircut at 3 a.m., and it never had a shortage of places to eat at any time of the day. Since COVID, fewer businesses are running 24/7, and while we still have more options than most cities, it's not quite the same as it used to be. Yes, the casinos are always open, but for locals, COVID has had a lasting impact on the Vegas lifestyle that many residents love. If you've lived in Las Vegas for any length of time, you've probably heard people tell you that there's a town here that is all bad. But here's the thing, even some locals are operating on seriously outdated information. Let me give you a little more perspective. North Las Vegas is actually the third largest city in Nevada, with almost 300,000 people calling it home. Yes, it's officially bigger than Reno. It's had a largely negative reputation for years as being a bad area, but because of its recent growth, there have been plenty of brand new neighborhoods popping up. Also, because it has so much BLM land nearby, there's definitely room for the city to keep growing. And that open land is a reason people are able to buy homes for cheaper, because once a city runs out of land to build more supply of homes, the prices go up. A lot of the job growth in the area has been due to new warehouses, restaurants, and retail development along with the housing growth. So despite what many locals will tell you, there are some very good neighborhoods in North Las Vegas that hundreds of thousands of people call home. If you would like a free customized plan to help with buying your home in Vegas, then be sure to use the link below to fill out a short form. A realtor I've known for over a decade named Lacey will call you for free to write down everything you need in order to make your move to Las Vegas as smooth as possible. I know plenty of you have heard this stereotype about living in Las Vegas, that it's all about slot machines and showgirls, like the only thing here anyone does is hang out in casinos 24/7. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. That couldn't be further from the truth. Of course, the hospitality scene is iconic and well known, but Vegas has so much more to offer. Outdoor lovers have always had amazing spots to enjoy like Lake Mead, Mount Charleston, Red Rock Canyon, and the Valley of Fire. If you're into sports, you can find anything from golf courses to adult leagues for soccer, pickleball, basketball, and softball. And if you're looking for something a little different from sports, you can find other activities like book clubs, a salsa and tango lessons, and even a chess club. Speaking of growing up in Las Vegas, you would think it has always been a fun place to be a kid because of the fact that so many tourists come here to have fun. At least that's what people assume, and myself included when I first moved here. But if you talk to folks who grew up here in the 80s and 90s, they'll frequently tell you a different story. Back then, most of the fun was off limits unless you were 21, and for kids, it could actually get pretty boring. Fast forward to today though, and it's a whole different vibe. More neighborhoods now host community events throughout the year for their residents. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Halloween, and Christmas are popular holidays for the local communities to get together and socialize. Outdoor movie nights are popular with families during the summer months, not just in local neighborhoods, but also at downtown Container Park, downtown Summerlin, and Town Square. Plus, Vegas has really leaned into a variety of fairs, festivals, and events, especially in the fall when the weather is usually great. So that old idea that there's nothing for kids to do is wildly outdated. Having lived in Las Vegas for over a dozen years, numerous times I've heard people say something along the lines of, "It's Vegas, you can get anywhere in 20 minutes." That used to be very true, but if someone hasn't lived here in a while, they might be in for a rude awakening seeing Las Vegas today. Over the past decade, hundreds of thousands of new residents have made Las Vegas, Henderson, or North Las Vegas their home. And with all those people come more traffic and, of course, construction. Lots of construction. If you plan out your errands well ahead of time, you can still get plenty of done in a short time. But getting across town these days is more like a 30 to 45-minute adventure, depending on the time of day. Whether you're a local or a tourist, if you've been in Las Vegas during the months of June, July, and August, you've probably gotten the extreme privilege of experiencing some of our monsoon season and the flooding that can come with it. Some of you have probably seen that famous black and white photo of a man doing a swan dive off of a street light at the Charleston underpass. It's wild to think how bad flooding used to get around here, but thankfully a lot has changed over the last few decades. The drainage system has been massively improved, and even spots like the Link parking garage are actually designed to channel water away from the strip. And it's not just rainwater management that's been upgraded. Southern Nevada has spent decades making adjustments based on Lake Mead's water levels as well. One thing that has been done to put the Las Vegas area in a very good position in a severe drought is the construction of the third straw that was built in 2015. This allows the Vegas Valley to continue to have access to its full share of allotted water, even if the water gets low enough that California, Arizona, and Mexico can no longer receive water downstream. Anyone who knows Las Vegas knows that it has a long history with the mob, but most don't realize Las Vegas was once an open city where any mob syndicate could invest. This meant you had different families operating in Las Vegas at the same time, which sometimes led to issues that I covered in my video, The Biggest Lies People Believe About Las Vegas. The days of mafia-run casinos dominating Las Vegas are long gone. In fact, there's only a handful of properties left that are either owned by a family or just one person. The rest have a far more corporate structure. You know how some families like to criticize the lack of culture in Vegas because it doesn't compare to places like New York, LA, or San Francisco? Well, the problem is that they're overlooking several important details. The first thing they're missing is that Las Vegas has an origin story unlike any other place in the country due to its early involvement with taboo activities and has a character all its own. The second is that Las Vegas is a little over 100 years old, so it's much younger than many other major cities in the US, particularly East Coast cities. The next thing is that the Vegas area has invested in more arts, culture, and museums. You can watch Broadway shows at the Smith Center for Performing Arts in downtown. I actually caught The Lion King there back in 2018 and have a video of it on this channel. The Arts District has really blossomed over the years, bringing some creative energy to an area of the city that needed it. If you haven't been to First Friday, whether as a local or a tourist, I would encourage you to take a visit at least once to enjoy the live music, food trucks, mom and pop restaurants, and creations by local artists. One cultural center in Las Vegas that often gets overlooked is Chinatown. Although the amount of tourists visiting has grown, it's still mostly a locals area. And really, calling it Chinatown is a bit of a misnomer because it not only has a variety of other Asian restaurants and stores, but also has several very popular non-Asian restaurants as well. And of course, there's always the Mob Museum, which recognizes that a large portion of Las Vegas's early years were tied to organized crime as part of Sin City's culture. If you lived here long enough, you've probably heard the old saying, "Don't go past the shoe" in downtown Las Vegas. For years, it had a bad reputation as a no-go zone, and yeah, it wasn't exactly the safest spot in town, but things have changed a lot over the past decade plus. The city has put real effort into improving the area, with city marshals enforcing laws more strictly in the tourist corridor than Metro, and even creating an order out system to ban problem individuals from spots like Fremont Street for up to a year. They've added a police substation right on Fremont as well, but let's not forget the positive impact of the downtown project that was led by Tony Hsieh of Zappos. It helped in bringing in small businesses, bars, restaurants, and the family-friendly container park. Of course, certain aspects of downtown like homelessness and crime are still around, but downtown today is a far cry from what it used to be and was perfectly told by one of my followers who recently visited Las Vegas for the first time in over 20 years and said, "Fremont Street is now enjoyable to go to. It was not in the past. In the past, it was a bit seedy, but today it has really cleaned up its act. I took my friend to see it to show him how Las Vegas used to be, and we went there on our 4th day so it didn't spoil my friend's perception of Sin City. Instead, it was a blast." Be sure to get your free customized home buying plan using the link below. Thanks for watching. I'm Jacob, and this is My Life in Vegas.